Okay, so my alarm just went off. Okay, sorry. Okay. I wasn't expecting these feelings here. Okay. Obedience. I've been off my meds for about 32 seconds. Wait. Okay. Oh, Heavenly Father, you are so much better than all of the women put together. Oh, Heavenly Father, you are so much better than all of the women put together. Have you ever sang that before? All the women? That's how many? 4 billion? 4 billion? And they're all fragments of God, according to pretty much every religion on earth and every NDE. Let's just say every NDE and every religion on earth is true at the same time. And we are fragments of God. What do you say to the atheist that believes there is no God, there is no supernatural realm? I'll tell you. What is he? What is he? He's a fractal of God. What happens when a fractal of God believes there's no God? Does he get the desires of his heart? Yes. So is he right? I guess so. Is that a good thing? No. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure. It's taking your talent and burying it in the ground. Demons are figurative. And there's different ways to view the devil, different ways to view the demons, different ways to view the south side of eternity and the south side of the supernatural realm. I'm walking like this. Why is that? I was mimicking someone who looked like they had only been on Earth for about 6 to 10 months. No, they looked like they were about 2 years old. They looked like they were about 1 year old. I'm talking, this kid was a little baby, but he was walking and he was wearing a nice suit. He was wearing this kid was dressed up like it was a wedding. And I didn't know they made clothes like that for little babies. But he was a baby and he had these really nice shoes, really nice clothes. And he was walking like this. But someone might see me walk like this and they think it's a penguin. Well, do you really think I'm mimicking a penguin? I had a friend named Brian McKee. He used to like penguins too much. So you're going to throw Brian McKee under the bus? Absolutely. It's called micro-idolatry. It's where you love something more than I'm comfortable with. When you want to define it, technically, how dare you love penguins that much? And don't get me started on Brett Smiley. He used to love dinosaurs too much. He thought he was a dinosaur. He's like, "Arr! Arr!" He did that all throughout elementary school. Really? Really, brother? Really, brother? Really, brother? Really, brother? Really? There's different ways to read it. I don't think you can take the tone out of context. People are so stupid. Not everyone on earth combined with a gun pointing at me. Not all you guys. Yes, you guys. Fine, shoot me. I'm protected by laws. Was Charlie Kirk protected by laws? Good point. Good point. I'm protected by Green Day. Don't want to be an American idiot. I'm being serious and you guys think I'm kidding. You're going to buy the song anyway. Because all my other songs were by Green Day. I'm going to sell so many copies till the girls scream. This song sucks compared to Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Yeah, well, he sold copies. I told this cop today, would you rather worship a God who you're maximally satisfied with, and he says, I'm not doing hypotheticals with you. And he has a camera in the middle of his chest, too. And he knows he's being recorded. And I said, yeah, why would you want to talk to someone smarter than you? When you could just stay as you are. And he says, I love you. See, that's what I'm going for. The I love you. Proverbs 28:23. If you, wow. Oh. You know what this is called? Oh, it's called getting cooked. Oh, cooked. I just got a revelation. Now, does that mean I have to share it with the camera world? No. Does that mean I have to share it with the camera world? Absolutely not. I get to choose my own adventure. All right, take a break. 1 or 2. 1, I'll tell you the revelation I got from here, and 2, I'll throw a celebrity into hell. 8:22, 8:23, 8:24, 8:24. John 8:24. John 8:24, dude. John 8:32. Number 2. Why? We all know what John 8:24 says. And what does it say? Well, if you don't believe that Jesus is God, you will die and go to hell. That's not what it says. Guarantee. And what's John 8:32? Who am I? Don't want to talk about it. I wish it wasn't true too. Dun 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 dun. Just beat it, beat it. Just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Just beat it, beat it, beat it. Michael Jackson. What about him? I know what you're thinking. Oh, tell me this one. Tell me this one. Oh! Don't kill the messenger. Don't shoot him in the neck. He wasn't a messenger. He was a preacher. I am Charlie Kirk. Really? Except I'm... Oh, sorry. Start that over. Go back a few seconds. I am Charlie Kirk, except a lot better. There we go. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z? Really? I'll tell you about it next time on Dragon Ball Z. That's the whole fucking show. It's just the foreplay. Like, four can play this game. That was not a sexual innuendo. I'm a sexual being, and I make sex jokes. I have made them in the past. I'm not going to make them in the future, guarantee. But I'll tell you this. Michael Jackson made his choice. And no, he didn't touch those little boys. He was so famous in everyone's eyes that he died and went to hell for pride. And that rhymed. John 8:24, John 8:32. All I can do is say thank you. All I can do is say thank you. All I can do, all I can do, all I can do is say thank you. What's that? It's a song. I could write a love song, tell you what I think you want to hear, but it wouldn't be good enough. That was enough to get my dad to walk out of the room. Well, now I hate that line. I always hated it. What a stupid line. What an idiot. I used to like that song because it was pretty. I spent money on it. I paid for that. It's called Thank You. It's one of the few contemporary worship songs that I like. You know. It was 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 thing. Whatever. Thankful all things, you know. Just... I don't know, it's a pretty song. It's a pretty song. Shit. Do it. Listen carefully. Oh, sorry. Listen carefully, you guys. There's a... I already know you guys are going to take this out of context. That's why I'm not going to say what I'm about to say. Because you can just take this and then you can just clip this. Don't do that. You see this feet? See this tooth? How it's kind of dead? People, that's the reason why I lost the presidency. I forgot to brush my teeth that one day. If he would have just brushed his teeth more. The American people, they like it when they have straight teeth, white teeth. Just ask the dentist. He's an atheist. He thinks the only thing that matters in life is teeth. Yeah, well, he can bite me with his teeth aren't even that good. I remember the dentist, she's like, you have to brush your teeth twice a day for 2 minutes. I was like, how often do you brush? She goes, twice a day for 2 minutes. And I said, so why the flying fox would I brush my teeth as much as a dentist? as she said, listen. Listen. And I'm going to make a point too. 15 minutes. Don't worry about how long this video is. Watch this. Wow. Fuck, shit, fuck. Sorry. Swearing's turned on. Fuck. I know this is so... I'm sorry. Listen to me. I think I might be lesbian. Oh, man. Come on, Eric. Listen. Oh my gosh. No way. No. I did it. There's a lot going through my head right there. Oh my gosh. I killed him. It was a bug. It was a big bug. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't on video. But I had a point to make. But there's a lot going on here. A lot of points to make here. First of all, I do think the head of state Chief Citizen, Commander-in-Chief, I think we can have one, even if they're incapable of, how should I say this, 35 years or older, 21 years or more, born in the USA. come down to this. That's what we need. Someone like that. If I have a hard time killing a bug, I'm gonna have a really hard time with the death penalty for a human, because humans are greater in being than bugs. Do you believe that, whoever's watching this? If you don't, this is one of the few things I'm 100% sure about. You are. You're worth more than a bug. Now, a dog or a cat, well, that depends if it's someone's pet. Trust me on the dog or cat one. It depends on the human, it depends on the pet. That's a joke for the record. The humans are worth more than pets, you guys. But I'm not 100% sure like the bug one. It's also a joke. Okay, so I put my foot over the bug, and it's almost like this gravity field. It was like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I backed off. Got it all on video. And it was a spot where, I didn't want to be a little bitch. So I prayed for courage. And if I'm going to send troops out to war to murder other humans, I have to at least be able to kill a bug. And there was a lot of motivations there and all that stuff. But listen, I'm going to be a perfect president, depending what you mean by perfect. If your definition of perfect is, well, no one's perfect, well, okay, I'm not going to be perfect by that definition. But if you have a more realistic definition, something doable, like, am I going to be the best president we've ever had by a large margin? Absolutely. Am I going to have the highest approval rating of all time? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not that one, that's easy stuff. Easy peasy, cheesy. Easy. Very easy. It's very easy, that one. My job is to try to stay alive and to speak in a way where I don't get shot in the neck right away. Because Charlie Kirk, he didn't choose his battles. He was just obnoxiously honest every second of every day. And it's just, yes, it was good for video, and his videos survive. But be wise as serpents, innocent as doves. And I got the innocent as doves part down. It's hard for me to even hurt a little bug. Wise as serpents. I'm working on it. And I want to get my fame up and stuff like that. And I want to be a fake villain. And one of my campaign promises is I'm going to break all of my promises, and that takes the burden off my shoulder. So it's a Matthew 5:33-37 approach. Vows are Old Testament. I wouldn't recommend them for most people. It is better to vow and to keep it than to not vow. But God's going to test you. And I've seen some things. But, and I remember, there's something cringe about a human being who's a fractal of God vowing or promising to do something in the future. There's something cringe, meaning out of tune, about it. I mean, promising something, it's cringe. It's cringe. And that's what Jesus was saying in Matthew 5. Your reputation should be so good that you don't need to make a vow. Now, if someone other than yourself makes a vow, that's an asymmetric net positive, meaning it doesn't affect you, it doesn't hurt you. All it does is something good. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not asymmetric net positive, because you get to watch somebody collapse 90% of the time, or whatever it ends up being, 99%. I don't know. But it's just, Ecclesiastes 5:5 comes to mind. That's exactly right. Better to not make a vow than to make a vow and not keep it. But I'm vowing to break my vows, which is very interesting. No one's ever tried it. So how do you break that vow? You keep it. And how do you keep it? You break it. So how do you make a square a circle? That's one of the ways. People say God can't make a square circle. Well, why am I making them? Isaiah 5:20. In the last days, good will be called evil, evil will be called good. So who am I? Am I good or am I bad? The answer is yes. Depends who you ask, depends what you mean by those words. Jordan Peterson really saved the world with his "what do you mean" speech. What do you mean by speech? Because he revealed something very interesting in language, especially in America, that we all, whether we know it or not, carry different definitions to words, K-N-O-T. My definition of not is different than everyone else. A lot of people use not like they have it in the dictionary, but I use the Urban Dictionary for not most of the time. Depends on the context. A knot it was used in Alice in Wonderland, and you could say, oh, that's a foolish movie. I don't think it's a foolish movie, but you have to look at the context. Make sure you see the beginning of the movie, and make sure you see the end. Alice is going through a lot there, and it's based on a book. By the way, I bought a book. Really. I remember trembling over that book, asking God if the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was true, and then flipping into the middle of Alice in Wonderland and farming esoteric entropy from it, and really shaking. I wouldn't recommend that for most people, but I am, a bit of a schizo. Oh, there's that dead bug. He took one for the team. He went to a better place. He was just sitting there like this, and then, gone. What is your world view? Donald Trump was a breath of fresh air because he didn't want to be politically correct. That's a way to win. Saying stuff like that. Because there's so much secret sin in the world. So many people are so... I mean, I went over here, right here actually. Let's go, let's tell this story. This one's wild. And I'm dressed like this. I have the same sweatshirt on. Jesus sweatshirt. To be fair to him, I'm 6'3". To be fair to him. And this guy, he doesn't know better. He doesn't. Maybe he does, but I don't think he does. But there's this game that little kids play called softball. I don't know how I feel about it. Well, softball is a good game, but for girls softball at the lowest levels, you need to be pitching to your own team after the first inning if there's more than one walk. First inning should be full send, and it should be just 10 walks each team, whatever. And then everyone's like, did you guys have fun with that? Well, wait till how fun it's about to be now. And then you pitch to your own team. Now, if there's no walks and the girls are good enough to throw strikes, which they aren't, but if they are good enough, then just play that every inning. But every softball game at the lower levels, you should only be playing real softball for the first inning. And if it's a disaster, you need to be pitching to your own team in the second inning and onward, and make that a rule at the beginning. Because my dad experienced a 16-15 no-hitter. You've never seen anything like it in your life. 4-pitch walk, 4-pitch walk, 4-pitch walk. And they're all having fun because things are happening, but it's not bat hitting ball. That's all I'm saying. How about a bat hitting the ball? But high comp softball, yes, that is a real sport. Olympic softball, one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. One of my favorite games I've ever seen in my life was USA, basically undefeated softball, just beating the crap out of Japan and all these teams and stuff. We got Jenny Finch, who is the only good-looking softball player to ever play softball, and she's pitching, and like, it's amazing. And somehow we're losing in this, whatever, how many innings we played, 6 or 7 innings, 6 I think. And it's the bottom of the 6th and we're losing like 4-3 or something. Little do we know, if we win, we're never gonna play softball ever again. That's the last thing we expected. But maybe it was 2-1. We're down by a run and 2 outs, 2 strikes, keep it alive, base hit, and then double, single, we win 5-4 or 2-3-2, whatever it was. And I couldn't believe it. And I was so happy. This is girls softball. And I just remember watching it at my grandma's house, and I ran out to my grandma and I said, "You're not gonna believe this, we won," and all this stuff. And she has like an underdog fetish or something. She's just like, "Well, we are good at softball. We kind of been doing that." It's like, yeah. It's pretty funny. But you feel like you're when you're a little kid. But then the Olympics, they're like, "Oh, we can't play softball anymore because, you know, somebody ate chicken with chopsticks on Thursday, and they found a fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie said bet on the lottery, and then we bet on the lottery, then we lost." And they're like, "Well, what does that have to do with softball being in the Olympics?" And it's like, "Well, we lost, which is why we're never going to play that stupid game ever again." Like, did you not see the game? We were ahead 2-1. We're finally gonna fucking win, and then this fucking bitch hits the fucking. Okay, we get it. We can play something else. Thank you. And now we're playing ping pong. See? So, if you want to keep playing softball, you gotta lose in the Olympics. Because if everyone agrees, like what was really interesting was Korea always wins the world championships in video games, in every game, because they're better at video games than us. I don't know how that works, but it does. Maybe they have cleaner food or something. Maybe it's just they're Asian. It's the yellow. Some yellow people from the pre-existence are turning the video game stat up because they know they're going to play video games. Whatever it is, they have different school teachers. We just don't take it seriously because we have, there's a lot of excuses you could have. But anyways, there was this game called League of Legends that we got early. It was a Dota mod. Dota was a Warcraft 3 mod. Somebody made a game in Warcraft 3 mod called Dota, D-O-T-A, Defense of the Ancients. Somebody made Dota 2 and someone else made League of Legends, which is a separate game based on a Warcraft 3 custom map. Dota 2 was almost impossible to play, but it's fun if you're good. If you're not good, it sucks. 90% of players said it sucked because they're not good. And you're not good unless you're good. League of Legends, 90% of the players said it was easy. But there's an unlimited skill ceiling. Because it's a Dota 2 mod because it's a Dota mod and Dota is a very high skill game. By the way, shout out to Andrew Yang, who had a good UBI idea. Didn't want to stack it on welfare, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. He was okay at video games, which is a huge fucking red flag. The fucking SBF guy, whoever that faggot was, what was his fucking name? Fuck shit. I don't know, I already forgot his fucking name. He's in jail right now. What was his fucking name? Let's take a piss right here. Do some civil disobedience. Oh, now there's a car. So to be respectful to the car, I don't care about the people in the camera world, but this car needs to drive by because he can call the cops in real time. So let this guy go by. Okay. His license plate, can't see anything, which means there's no Bible verse. Wait for him to get about 400 feet away, because now it's very unlikely he calls the cops. Now we're going to pull down our pants, and we're going to take a piss here on the side of the street. And all the girls are like, oh no, and the guys are like, yeah, that's about right. So here's a moon, full moon. Oh, I'm going to go to jail for this. One day I will go to jail for pissing in public 10 years ago. What a prophecy that was. The joke is, we don't like what you said. We dug up some dirt. Shut up and don't dribble. There's a reason why I speak in jokes and riddles. It's so Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory can whip out some golden tickets. Whatever that means. Here's a basketball hoop. Any hoop, listen. Not here's the thing. I just got an epiphany. Now there's epiphanies, then there's revelations. Now this is a righteous epiphany from my dome. This one's from Eric, but it's a righteous side of Eric. So I have 6 spirit guides: Father, Son, Holy Spirit, me, myself, and I. Those are all 6, and we compete. Who gets to say what next and whatever. This one's from Eric, but WNBA basketball is a very technical sport. Most people aren't good enough at basketball to watch it. All they see is women playing basketball in a way that is not just different than men, but less entertaining. to the casual viewer. Now, there are some psycho basketball super fans who prefer WNBA to NBA slightly because the game is more about skill and less about being 7'1", 335 pounds and dunking on a little 6'1" dumbass named Allen Iverson who had a mismatch. Now, don't get me wrong, that's entertaining to them too, because the coach is going to say, oh, let's get Allen Iverson off of Shaquille O'Neal. And then there's strategy there. But in the WNBA, it's more about passing, it's more about setting up shots and like angles and shit. And you can't just get away with being a fat fuck. You can if you're like 6'10" and you're a woman, but that's pretty rare. But it's like very rare. But the stands are empty because it's women. Now, what if we lower the hoop to 8 feet? The women are going to feel like girls, and they don't want to feel like that because they're 99% alpha cats. Alpha cat is exactly what it sounds like. It's a dominant female, and to do good in basketball, you have to have some moxie. And maybe there's a feminine girl somewhere in there, but there's a lot of, no offense, but a lot of lesbians in there, a lot of manly women. Is there a finesse girl in there? Sure. But like, we're talking about sport. We're talking about women playing a man sport type of thing. It's not like, what's a female sport? Gymnastics. They're very flexible. What's another female sport? Figure skating? I don't know. But if you're a womanly woman, you're going to get tore up in the MMA. If you're a manly woman, you're going to win in the MMA. So when you look at MMA, there are no girly girls. It's just these really masculine, biological females. Does that make sense? And maybe I don't want to get into female MMA right now, but my friend Philip and I think it's really sad. But anyways, I'll make a deal with you, women. Lower the rim to 8 feet, please. And men, we will lower it to 9.5. If you go to 8, we'll go to 9.5. Because we don't want you to think you're a second-class citizen. We want you to think dunks are awesome, and we're going to have more dunks too. You get more dunks, we get more dunks. We could lower both of them to 9.5, but no deal. No deal. We've had it at 10 feet for all this time. Oh, well, we've had it at 10 feet for all this time. I know. We're both going to break it. We want you to dunk on each other. You're already manly women. The layups were great until they weren't. It's time to start dunking on each other. Oh, but I've been shooting on this hoop for okay, practice for 8 hours. You'll get used to it. I've done it myself. Listen, this hoop over here was 7 feet. Way more fun than the 10 feet. There was a 10 feet hoop right there. Me and Raja, we played one-on-one. Somehow I lost that as a 6'3" because I was running out of breath. The fat Johnny beat us because we were playing 21, so you make a bunch of free throws. But I legit took second place against Raja, who's one of the most uncoordinated players I've ever played against. And Johnny, who is 5'6", but he plays a lot of basketball. And he was a good dribbler and stuff. But I did dunk on both of them, is the point here. I shot it, it hit the back rim, popped up in the air, I jumped over both of them, and it was a double posterize. And Johnny's like, and I was getting dunked on. Nice hustle! And Raja's just like, I just got dunked on. And then I missed the free throw and whatever. It was 21-6-2. And Johnny won 21-6-2. Don't say that. Okay, you can say it. I know I'm good at basketball. I don't need to be told that. In 5th grade, I was a big fish in a small pond. Sure, I wasn't as good as Daniel Carney, but he could hit a punch ball 275 feet with his arm, he could hit a punch ball back then farther than I could hit it today. And not almost for sure, 100% for sure, because he was coordinated to go with it. He hit puberty at 9, 10, and he's already had the puberty for 2 years. So he's hitting the ball very, very, very far. We did a game of 56 players, knockout. And you're not allowed to hit the ball, because that's ridiculous. And the winner wins. And I beat all 56 kids. And we did 8 weeks of this, or 8 days worth. And I beat all 56 kids. So there's 8 GOATs, 8 champions. And we were the gods of basketball. And they said, well, we need to figure out who the God of gods is. And we said, well, we all won one of the games. They said, well, we need to find out who the God of gods is. So we all drew sticks. And there was 8 people in line. And it's one game. And winner take all. And I guess second place gets the silver medal, but nobody cares about that. But and third place is the bronze medal, but nobody cares about that. I drew a 1. What does that mean? You better make it. And who's number 2? Daniel Carney. I would have rather had, what's his name? What is his name? That little shit. Well, anyways, there was a lot of good players in there. We're 8 demigods, eight demigods, and there's going to be one god to rule them all. I bricked my first shot back rim, and I could have just immediately shot it, and Miss Farnady says, you guys need it. It's plus EV to just shoot it. I know his ball's going to hit your ball, but guess what? His ball's probably not going to go in the hoop. That's the whole point. It just feels right letting the guy knock you out, or if he misses it, now you make it. Just feels good. So I was like, I'll just let Carney miss. Now, thinking about it now, if you're in line, you should look at the guy behind you. If the guy behind you is a goober, you should wait for him to shoot it. If the guy behind you is Barry Bonds, you should just go up and shoot. That's a really good strategy. Anyways, I just let him miss, and then I made it. No, he made it. I'm immediately out in 8th place. So I'm the 8th most powerful basketball demigod in 5th grade, which is kind of a letdown, because it would have been better, obviously, to have an 8-way tie. Why do we have to go to the playoffs and do all that for one game? And it's like, now, was I the 8th best player? I don't know. I don't know if I was the 8th seed going in, but I just drew sticks. If I would have drawn a 2, if the guy in front of me missed, I miss. If he makes it, I make it. So I got unlucky, because I would have been in the back of line, and I would have had a 1 in 8 chance of winning. But I drew a 1. It's like, okay, well then you should have made it. I know. I missed it. It sucks. Well, why do you think about this? I don't. Very often. It's very rare. But there was a point. The point is I'm good at basketball. I'm very good. That was the whole point of that story. You don't just beat 56 kids. It doesn't work like that. Oh, you had 8 tries. No, I did it on my 3rd try. All those kids are good at basketball. Except for that one idiot, but that's just one weird guy. But it's like, I also did a music test. Finished in the top 30%. Just a coincidence. Listen, I was breastfed by one of the most, if not the most beautiful women in the entire world. My dad, I didn't know this at the time, but he was on his 2nd marriage, and he says, I don't trust any woman. I'm just going to get the most beautiful one. And I'm going to make babies with her. So, for better or for worse, he took the most beautiful woman, and that was my biological mother. And I had biological boobies. Biological milk from my biological mother. And that's where I get my good looks. My mom's side of it. But I didn't know my mom was beautiful until I saw a picture way later, because she started doing cigarettes and she lost her beauty in her whatever 50s. When I started getting older, I didn't realize. I just thought she was average looking, because her face was all deformed from drugs and alcohol, and there's a lot of self-exaltation involved in cigarettes. Cigarettes are designed to make you feel good for a price, and the price is cash and your lungs. It'll cost you your body and stuff like that. And whatever, we could talk about cigarettes, but I would say, as a word of wisdom, avoid cigarettes unless you're, well, I don't want to talk about exceptions right now, but as president, I'd be willing to light up my first cigarette at the age of whatever, 40, 30, what is it? I'm about to be 35, so 30, 40, or 30, I'm sorry, 30, whatever I am, 40, 50, 60, whatever it is. I'll light up my first cigarette in the middle of a speech to make a point. I have no problem doing that. Time and place for everything. And I'm Mormon. So it's like, whoa, that's crazy. He must really be serious today. It's his first cigarette. I know. And if the Lord allows it, or if I don't think I'd be spirit-led, but I might be God the Father allowed, if that makes sense. Huge difference between spirit-led and God the Father allowed. Anyways, if we lower the rim in the NBA to 9.5 feet, everyone's going to be pissed and be mad. And you just have to keep telling them, do you want the hoop to be 10 feet in the WNBA? No. Okay, so we're taking one for the team. And what's the penalty for lowering it to 9.5? The NBA is what? More entertaining. That's the price we're paying. Because God knows a 9.5 foot hoop is more entertaining than 10. God knows that. Why don't we know that? Because we're stupid. And I say we, that's a big claim. We're stupid. Because, I'll tell God that I'm stupid compared to him. And there's some truth to that. 1 Corinthians 1:25 comes to mind. I'm sure you guys have that memorized because you're smarter than me, right? A lot of people that are watching this for different reasons. My children in the future are watching this because they did something wrong. They talk back to mom, or they talk back to dad twice. You could talk back to dad once a day. You could talk back to mom 0 times a day. And if you talk back to mom, you have to watch a very long video of dad from the past. And it might not be one that you like. And you're not going to understand every word. If you talk back to dad once, interesting. Guess I never thought about it like that. If you talk back to dad twice in the same day, you get to go back and watch one of the videos. It's not nearly as long. It's only a 3-minute clip. But 3 minutes is eternity to a little kid. But if you talk back to mom, you're going to get a very, 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 very long video. And it's going to sound like daddy's yelling at you from the past, which is exactly what he's doing. But when you're done listening to it, you will be stronger as a person. And I give all my children permission to cuss out all the other kids and to cuss out other adults, as long as they're not your teacher at school. As the teacher at school, you have to be really, 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 really right and really, 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 really righteous. Then you can do it. But pretend like you shouldn't have done it. But you have to be right and righteous. If you're wrong, then you're going to get in big trouble. But to mom, you don't talk back to mom whether she's right or wrong. It doesn't matter. But to me, you get 1 bullet a day. And you can do it whenever you want. So choose the bullet wisely. The second bullet, now you get a 3-minute video. So that's called good parenting. Proverbs 22, verse 6 ministries. Okay. Glad I got that out of the way. Women are not going to arbitrarily, because remember, women are emotional creatures, and the men are rational creatures. Now, are the men rational compared to me? No. Are women emotional compared to me? Yes. Okay. So, men are stupid. Women are stupider. Men are dumb. Women are dumber. Men are dumber. Women are dumber. Have you ever seen those movies? Dumb and Dumber. My dad always said, you have to be pretty smart to act that dumb. Jim Carrey, he's getting the bag. And his whole thing is, you know, you guys shouldn't be watching this movie. Maybe I can communicate to the audience some esoteric, you know, listen, Jim Carrey, you know, there's, you know, is he good, is he bad, somewhere in between, okay. Michael Knowles, is he a good guy, bad guy, somewhere in between, okay. Ben Shapiro, listen. Who we comparing it to? Have you guys ever heard that? Kwame Brown. You know, do you know who Stephen A. Smith is? Stephen A. Smith? You know who that is? Do you know who Max Kellerman is? Max Kellerman. You could learn a lot from him. How to talk, how to move your voice up and down. You know, how to set up dichotomies, and that guy, he'll take the losing end of a coin flip with authority. That guy. Stephen A. Smith is like, I'm stupid, I'm not that stupid. He's like, but you do have the boxing brand. They're like, who's going to win? Floyd Mayweather or Conor McGregor? And Max Kellerman is like, I'd love to make a case for Conor McGregor, but first of all, I can't do it. And second of all, no one's going to believe it. And third of all, that's just stupid. And Stephen A. Smith is like, well, I think it's stupid too. And he goes, okay, so do you want to go to hell, or do you want ESPN to go to hell? And he says, fine. He says, you get this one, I get the next 25. And Max Kellerman says, deal. I love taking the losers, just not this one. So they go on TV, and Stephen A. Smith is like, well, I'll tell you this. I give a 1% chance. It's a puncher's chance. That sucks. I was at a poker tournament, $565 buy-in. We're playing Omaha high-low split, fixed limit, pot limit, no limit split. What the fuck is that? It's easy money, is what it is. Of course, I get sat next to some fucking sports betting psycho who's up money lifetime in sports, and he's like, I would say I'm up in sports, but nobody would believe it. I said, I'd believe it. I'm up in sports too. And he's okay. And we talked for like 2 or 3 hours. One of the most arrogant people I've ever met in my life. And I got him to laugh. It's really hard to get arrogant men to laugh. But it was like only a second though, or 2 seconds. Because it was a really funny joke. I played a hand with him. He ended up paying me off with the second nuts. And he says, if I was on my A game, I would fold. And I said, yeah, but what if I suck at poker? It's a snap call. And he goes, trust me. There was this guy at the other side of the table, couldn't even read his hand. He says he's not slow rolling, he can't read his hand. I know.